Oddly enough, when she was looking through her Psalms, I was actually in Psalms too. When she was saying that, I kind of looked at her.
That's the one I sung at your mom's funeral.
Yeah, no. She had
It's
you
popped
sing
in my
it.
mind.
She had you sing it at the hospital too. I had to leave the room. I cried. I'm gonna be in Psalms chapter 91 today, and this kind of actually happened to me, and it's kind of ironic. Well, I turned to one other place first because I really didn't have much planned tonight. I didn't even know for sure if I was gonna do one or not. But I thought, well, I'll leave this one since I ain't done one. I'm gonna do one. But there was a time in my life whenever I went through a lot with my ex-wife. We were still together then, but I was still going through a lot. My mom knew I was depressed about a week before that. I know she probably told Ocie this too. My mom knew I was depressed one day when she come to my house because I'm really picky about my hair. I mean, I've shaved all my hair off right now, but so it grow back. But I come in, my hair was a mess, and I would come out on the porch with boxer shorts. You remember that?
And something wrong with him.
Yeah, Mom looked at those. She says something's wrong with him. He's depressed because he don't do that. But I remember I was driving in the road. We was in E-Town over by Freedom Lake, if you know where that is, if you're from the area. And the car windows was up. We had a sunroof, but it was up too. So there was no way this thing could just miraculously come through a window because everything was shut. And I remember I was just going through a lot, and I started praying in the car, and God told me He had me under the shadow of His wing. And whenever He told me that, you remember me telling you that one little white feather fell on my leg. And we ended up going to the park because I was like, Tabitha, turn over, I want to go here. And I went to, we went to the park, and it was, you know how the Bible says there's two paths, one straight and one's kind of easy to go through, but we need to go through the one that sometimes looks harder. It ain't worded that way, but I'm kind of paraphrasing. Because when things look easy, it's not always going to be good, but sometimes when we go through the path, it may seem harder, but we're who we are today for going through it. We're stronger for going through the things we've gone through. And I remember seeing that regular trail that they take, but I saw this one right beside of it. It had leaves, it had fallen trees and everything around. I said, I'm going to take that one. And I ended up taking that one, and I just started praying, and I felt the presence of God. Even people were stopping and even praying because they felt something with me doing it. Sometimes you can get the presence of God no matter where you're at. You can find that presence. And I love this verse. It's in Psalms 91, verse 1. I think it's your mama's Bible too. It's got a lot of writing in it, I think. Is this black one your mama's? So, is that her writing? Yeah. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. We shall abide today by the shadow of His Almighty, by His wings, by His power, by His glory. We shall abide in Him. Greater is He that's in us than he that's in the world. I didn't know where I was going today with this message, but as soon as I start this broadcast, for you that's on YouTube, you may not have heard it because I tuned it a little bit later. But I quoted that one thing that, what you're going through and stuff. And I will say unto the Lord, He is my refuge and He is my fortress. And in my God, in Him will I trust. And she wrote down faith. We got to have faith. And we got to trust in God today. Sometimes it's hard to trust in God. Sometimes it's hard to have faith. But the Bible says without faith, it's impossible to please God. The Bible also says for us to have faith as a grain of mustard seed. At the church I grew up with, and Ocie went, Decker Holiness, I remember Sister Wendy Salzman when she was a kid one time. Come in and brought, you remember that little thing of mustard seed?
Tiny mustard seed.
Yeah, and she looked at my mom and she's like, do you know this is all the faith that God requires?
Little bitty tiny seed.
Little bitty tiny seed. And it's the first time I ever seen a mustard seed. The first time my mom did too. But just think, God just requires that much faith. But the more faith you have, the more things will happen, right? Instead of putting all your self-doubt and fears, that's another good thing that's changed about me recently. Not just the hair and not just the eyeglasses, but I used to be positive and lately, the last few weeks, I've been positive again. You know, there's still ups and downs moments, but I'm trying to stay positive. Surely he will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. He will deliver us today through our enemies, through those that will try to attack us, through those that will try to bring us down, through those that will try to destroy us. Because again, greater is he that's in us than he that's in the world, and we're truly more than a conqueror today. And we would have never gone through it if God didn't know we could make it. Because you can be stronger today. I love this verse too. It says, well, I'm going up a little bit further, but I'm going to read this one first. Verse 5 says, Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor by the arrow that flieth by day. Don't be afraid today by that arrow. Don't be afraid today by the snares of the devil. Don't be afraid of the doubts that the devil put in your head. You know, maybe some of you need healing and you're doubting it. You know, don't be afraid today, because if God said you're going to receive it, you're going to receive it. I'm going to back up for just a minute. And this is, again, one of my favorite verses. And this is basically what I started out with, talking about the wings. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler. His truth shall be our shield today. His truth shall set us free today. Nothing impossible for him. I'm going to stop right there with the Bible verses. But, you know, like I said, he will carry us under the shadow